Check out carmarshal.com. The link is in the description. They help support us.
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people. Thank you.
Bill Clinton accused was of sexual assault 15X, why is he treated like a hero? By Jeff Dunetz, November 14, 2017. Crime, media, politics. The fact that the Democrats and the mainstream media are all over Judge Moore and expect every Republican to call for his resignation is simply hypocritical. Especially when one considers that Bill Clinton has been accused of sexual assault at least 15 times and most of the cases have been ignored by the MSM and the party. Not only is the former president treated with reverence and his opinion is sought after. Perhaps Democratic leaders should be asked if the media should be interviewing the former president despite the fact that he may have sexually assaulted 15 or more women. The below are 15 different cases of sexual assault or attempted assault committed by former President Bubba Clinton. This doesn't include the women Bubba had consensual affairs with, such as Jennifer Flowers, or Sally Miller, only the women he forced or tried to force to have sexual contact without their permission. Also included in that category is Monica Lewinsky. While it was consensual and she was of age, Clinton used his superior position to have sexual contact with an intern. Juanita Broaddrick, who claims she was raped by Bill Clinton and Hillary tried to silence her. She says, he got her onto the bed, held her down forcibly and bit her lips. The sexual entry itself was not without some pain, she recalls, because of her stiffness and resistance. When it was over, she says, he looked down at her and said not to worry, he was sterile, he had had mumps when he was a child. Becky Brown was a nanny for Chelsea Clinton and the wife of L.D. Brown, an Arkansas state trooper. She claims he sexually harassed her in the mid-1980s. L.D. Brown made the allegation public in his 1999 book, Crossfire, Witness in the Clinton Investigation, writing, Becky had been babysitting Chelsea and had already put her to bed. Bill, after getting a beer, found Becky watching television in the upstairs part of the mansion. He slouched down next to Becky and offered her a beer. Incredibly, he began his "I'm so bad" routine with Becky. I had seen him use it time and time again to get a woman to comfort him, comforting which he then manipulated into eventual sex. Becky got out of there in a hurry. L.D. Brown. Helen Dowdy, the wife of Hillary Clinton's cousin, claims she was groped by Bill Clinton at a wedding in 1986. She told Jerry Oppenheimer, the author of State of a Union, inside the complex marriage of Bill and Hillary Clinton. Elizabeth Ward Grayson, the Miss Arkansas who won the Miss America crown in 1982, told friends she was forced by Clinton to have sex with him shortly after she won her state title. Grayson later told an interviewer that sex with Clinton was consensual. Her roommate Judy Stokes has said the ex-Miss Arkansas told her she was raped after the incident. Sandra Allen James was pinned against a wall by the former president as he stuck his hand up her dress. Ms. James' loud scream caused the Arkansas state trooper outside the door to knock, spoiling Bubba's moment. Paula Corbin Jones filed suit in 1994, alleging that Bill Clinton propositioned her and exposed himself to her in a Little Rock hotel room 3 years earlier when he was governor of Arkansas and she was a low-level state employee. Carolyn Moffett, a legal secretary in Little Rock who was invited to Bill's hotel room after a fundraiser. When she arrived, she discovered Bubba sitting on a couch only wearing a t-shirt. When I went in, he was sitting on a couch, wearing only an undershirt. He pointed at his penis and told me to suck it. I told him I didn't even do that for my boyfriend, and he got mad, grabbed my head and shoved it into his lap. I pulled away from him and ran out of the room. Eileen Wellstone, an English woman who said Mr. Clinton sexually assaulted her after she met him at a pub near Oxford University where Mr. Clinton was a student in 1969. Neither Ms. Wellstone nor her family wanted to pursue the case, and a report filed at the time by a State Department official was ignored by superiors. Apparently, the State Department didn't want a Rhodes Scholar to have a rape charge. Kathleen Willey told 60 Minutes that Bubba assaulted her in the White House. He had his arms, they were tight around me, and he touched me, he touched my breasts with his hand, and, I was just startled. And then he whispered, he said in my ears that, I've wanted to do this ever since I laid eyes on you. And I remember saying to him, aren't you afraid that somebody's going to walk in here? And, he said, no. No, I'm not. And then he took my hand, and he put it on him. On his genitals, she says later. And, that's when I pushed away from him and decided it was time to get out of there. Christy Zurcher, an airline flight attendant on Mr. Clinton's 1992 campaign plane, who said Mr. Clinton exposed himself, grabbed her breasts and made explicit remarks about oral sex. Ms. Zurcher said later in an interview that White House attorney Bruce Lindsay tried to pressure her into not going public about the assault. In 1972, when he was attending Yale, and dating Hillary, a 22-year-old woman told campus police at Yale University that she was sexually assaulted by Clinton, a law student at the college. No charges were filed, but retired campus policemen contacted by Capitol Hill Blue confirmed the incident. The woman, tracked down by Capitol Hill Blue in 2007, confirmed the incident, but declined to discuss it further and would not give permission to use her name. Also, according to Capitol Hill Blue, former Arkansas students confirmed that Clinton tried to force himself on them when he was a professor. Roger Morris wrote in Partners in Power that another unnamed victim accused Clinton of unwanted sexual advances. A young woman lawyer in Little Rock claimed that she was accosted by Clinton while he was Attorney General and that when she recoiled he forced himself on her, biting and bruising her. Deeply affected by the assault, the woman decided to keep it all quiet for the sake of her own hard-won career and that of her husband. When the husband later saw Clinton at the 1980 Democratic Convention, he delivered a warning. If you ever approach her, he told the governor, I'll kill you. Not even seeing fit to deny the incident, Bill Clinton sheepishly apologized and duly promised never to bother her again. In the book, Uncovering Clinton, another woman, the wife of a prominent Democrat, who remained unnamed, accused Clinton of sexual abuse in 1996. Clinton started getting physical, trying to kiss her, touching her breasts. The woman said she was stunned. She had no idea how to respond. I've never had a man take advantage of me like that. As Clinton pressed himself on her, she said, she resisted, and finally pushed him away. What happened after that? I asked. Clinton turned away, she said. She hesitated, and she said softly and with apparent discomfort, I think he finished the job himself. Lieutenant Colonel Robert Buzz Patterson wrote a book about Clinton called Dereliction of Duty, in which he accounted yet another victim of sexual abuse by the then president. He wrote that a female stewardess on Air Force One complained that Clinton sexually molested and cornered her on the flight. Per Patterson, the woman only wanted an apology. Then, of course, there is Monica Lewinsky. Technically this one was consensual, but IMHO when a married president of the United States takes advantage of a 21-year-old intern, it seems pretty close to statutory rape. But along with the affair, the media and the Democratic Party joined with Hillary Clinton in an effort to destroy Lewinsky. None of the above is meant to add to or take away from the charges against Judge Moore, on to point out the hypocrisy of how Moore is being treated and how it is filtering down to other Republicans. I don't live in Kentucky, and even if I did, I probably would have chosen to sit out the election and not vote for him even before the sexual assault charges. I am a believer in the Constitution, and when Judge Moore refused to honor a decision by the Supreme Court, whether it was good or bad, the judge was dishonoring the Constitution, which makes the Supreme Court is the highest court in the land. But I also believe in fairness, and this is one more example, or 15 more examples, of how Republicans are treated differently.
Good evening. This afternoon in this room, from this chair, I testified before the Office of Independent Counsel and the grand jury. I answered their questions truthfully, including questions about my private life, questions no American citizen would ever want to answer. Still, I must take complete responsibility for all my actions, both public and private, and that is why I am speaking to you tonight. As you know, in a deposition in January, I was asked questions about my relationship with Monica Lewinsky. While my answers were legally accurate, I did not volunteer information. Indeed, I did have a relationship with Ms. Lewinsky that was not appropriate. In fact, it was wrong. It constituted a critical lapse in judgment and a personal failure on my part, for which I am solely and completely responsible. But I told the grand jury today, and I say to you now, that at no time did I ask anyone to lie, to hide or destroy evidence, or to take any other unlawful action. I know that my public comments and my silence about this matter gave a false impression. I misled people, including even my wife. I deeply regret that. I can only tell you I was motivated by many factors. First, by a desire to protect myself from the embarrassment of my own conduct. I was also very concerned about protecting my family. The fact that these questions were being asked in a politically inspired lawsuit, which has since been dismissed, was a consideration too. In addition, I had real and serious concerns about an independent counsel investigation that began with private business dealings 20 years ago. Dealings, I might add, about which an independent federal agency found no evidence of any wrongdoing by me or my wife over 2 years ago. The independent counsel investigation moved on to my staff and friends, then into my private life, and now the investigation itself is under investigation. This has gone on too long, cost too much, and hurt too many innocent people. Now this matter is between me, the two people I love most, my wife and our daughter, and our God. I must put it right, and I am prepared to do whatever it takes to do so. Nothing is more important to me personally, but it is private, and I intend to reclaim my family life for my family. It's nobody's business but ours. Even presidents have private lives. It is time to stop the pursuit of personal destruction and the prying into private lives and get on with our national life. Our country has been distracted by this matter for too long, and I take my responsibility for my part in all of this. That is all I can do. Now it is time, in fact, it is past time to move on. We have important work to do, real opportunities to seize, real problems to solve, real security matters to face. And so tonight, I ask you to turn away from the spectacle of the past 7 months, to repair the fabric of our national discourse, and to return our attention to all the challenges and all the promise of the next American century. Thank you for watching, and good night.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is. as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheep up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Sheriff County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if some, if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.